Hi, all. I'm Alexis, and welcome to Faith Like That, the Alexis edition. So, I wanted to come on here today because I'm starting a new journey, and I have a new life coach. His name is Coach Tommy, and I wanted to share what I've been going, what transformations I've been having with Coach Tommy as a life coach. Okay. So I feel like it's really gonna reach a lot of people because it really has touched me, and I feel like if I can be snatched, my God, I know anybody can. A lot of folks look at these glasses and they see, one thing, but you can't let looks determine a person. So I've been working with Coach Tommy for 3 months now. And I have several parts to it, but the first part, this is going to be part 1. The first part that I'm going to talk about with y'all is forgiveness. But before I jump into that, I want y'all to like, comment, subscribe. But when I say comment, y'all, please keep it respectful. And if you don't believe in it, that's fine. I love everybody. I don't do that. But I really want to know y'all thoughts though. I really want to know what y'all think after this video. Now, I'm 29 years old, right? And what made me get a life coach was my family was corrupt, okay? And let me see where I can start. My grandmother's a pastor. And she instilled in all of her grandkids, as you know, back in the day, them praying grandmothers, they prayed over us. They made us fast. They instilled it in us, right? But I took heed to it. And when I got grown, I strayed away because, parents can be too strict or, different things can happen in life and you just stray away. So that's what I did. And I left God. He never left me, but I left him. But I knew he was chasing me. I knew he was chasing me, y'all. Like, I knew he was chasing me. I felt it. Everything that I went through in life, he gave me grace enough to see me through it. But he never let the enemy do too much, right? But then something happened to me in my childhood where I had to basically raise myself since I was 14. And my parents, they are alive, right? But let me tell you something. Before anybody get to judging, my parents did the best they could. I know that now. And I used to walk around making my mama pay for everything she did. And when I say that, I mean my attitude gonna change. I'm snatching my baby from her granddaughter. My attitude just shifted. I can be the happiest person in the world. But the moment my mama come around, it changed. So I convinced everybody around me. As a victim, I convinced everybody around me that, this is who she is. And she hurt me. And that's who I put her out there to be to people. But what I really didn't realize, well, I ain't gonna say realize, what I forgot about when I left God, well, my grandmother always used to preach. Honor your mother and your father, that thy days shall be longer. I didn't think about that, right? Then my brother, he got locked up in the prison for, for a minute, for a long time. My dad wasn't in my life since I was 9. And I went through a lot, and I blamed my parents. I took no accountability. I just blamed my parents. And like I said, I went through some things, and I'll get in depth with that later on down the line. But then I had a daughter, right? And it's like, that's what changed me. But then again, it didn't, because I told myself, I'm going to change. I'm not going to let my daughter around my parents. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. All I want to do is protect my child. But I didn't know that I was hurting my mom by just constantly pushing her away. And she's constantly trying to show me, y'all. She's constantly trying to show me. Constantly trying to show me that she tried. But she never apologized. She never did any of that. So God just kept working on me, but she kept asking, can I spend time with my granddaughter? Can I spend time with my granddaughter? And I'm like, no. You had your chance. You did what you needed to do. You know what I'm saying? No. And I was acting like I'm better than her. I was acting like, I'm giving my daughter the better childhood, the better everything that my parents didn't give me. And I just couldn't understand it, because I'm like, how can y'all make all these mistakes, not want to make it right, but get mad when we retaliate against y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, it was rough. But my grandma always taught me, just in life, my experiences. I've learned that the enemy can only do what God allowed, right? And if you out here corrupting and you can't forgive, what makes you think that because you so hurt and them folks did you so wrong that it can't be fixed? What makes you think he gonna let you in the kingdom? Because he forgive you every day for messing with his kids. Because in actuality, it's still our parents are still his sons and daughters. In actuality, they're still our brothers and sisters. And we messing with that. We can't give them grace, but he can give us grace. He can heal us for what they did, but we can't forgive us for what they put them through. That's not right. That's not right. So, I'm going to say in March of this year, my dad ended up getting hit in the head with a hammer. And my dad was a drunk for 15 years, okay? My dad was a drunk, and he was a pure alcoholic. Like, he was a functioning alcoholic. I hope I'm saying it right. And when I tell you, he was the type, put his phone in the freezer, he'll forget, and he'll snap on anybody, or you say one wrong thing, he just gonna pop off. Ain't no telling what he would do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of them things for me that hit home. God allowed that to happen because it's too much going on. And then it's like with me raising my child and trying to find my purpose. And like, I'm married. Been married for I got married 2 years ago. So I've been married for 2 years, and I've been with my husband for 8. And we moved, my dad and my little sister, here when that happened. And I was angry, y'all. I was angry. Do you hear me? I was so angry because y'all alive, and I went through everything. Molestation, abandonment, homelessness. I've slept in my car, and some of this stuff my parents don't know. Because, and I thank God I didn't tell them, because I didn't want my parents to feel, at this point in day, like in the wisdom I have now, I didn't want my parents to feel extra horrible over what I went through. You know what I'm saying? Because they did what they had to do. I didn't know that back then. But now, I thank God that I went through all of that. You know why? It might sound strange to some of you. But whoever going through this, let me tell you something. Everything happened for a reason. And if some of us would have had that silver spoon and actually would have had both of our parents, and actually would have took our parents' money, and actually would have took their college tuition, and actually, you know, actually would have did all them things that our parents actually had for us. The question is, where we at today, do you think we would actually be here today? Would I be making this video today? Would I be married today? Would I have a child today? The real question is, would I know God today? So I said all that to say, y'all, trust God in the process. Because some of us have been through it all. Some of us have, and y'all, I look like I've been through it all today, but I just got a real bad cold right now, y'all. So excuse how I look, but God put it on my heart to help somebody today. And to those of you who's been looking at my videos and giving me criticism, let me tell y'all something. I appreciate y'all, the ones who actually gave me grace with my daughter on here. Because I know some of y'all see me and her transitioning. Some of y'all see our videos. But let me tell you something. Us people, us youngins, we need help. We need guidance. We need people to give us grace, not to judge us because you see what we putting on social media. Sometimes we need you to comment up under there. Instead of saying, what kind of mother are you to let your daughter cuss? First of all, my daughter never cussed in none of them videos, and I'm not going to get in depth with that. But now that I'm transitioning and doing what I'm doing, is it wrong? Yes. But to some of y'all older ones, y'all got to understand, some of us are corrupt because y'all don't take out the time to give us that love we need. Instead of saying, what kind of mother are you? How about, hey, young lady, how about this? Hey, young lady, how about that? Hey, young lady, this is not the way to go because I see more in you than what you see. And you kind of aggravate me. It can be anything with grace. But sometimes y'all come on here and be trolls and then wonder why we be rebellious to y'all. I respect my elders. I don't know half of y'all that comment on our videos. But me and my baby are transitioning. And with her seeing my transition through my life coach, let me tell y'all, let me leave y'all with this. My baby came in my room Saturday. This past Saturday. And said, Mommy, I like your way better. I thought it was going to be boring, but it wasn't. So I want to change with you, Mama. I want to transition with you. I think that's the word. And this is what was coming out of her mouth. Y'all, I just hope that this video reached somebody. This is really, like, I really want y'all to see God through me. Forget the appearance. I want this to reach somebody, y'all, that is struggling with it right now. Can't get along with their parents. Can't figure out how to forgive, because let me tell you something. You have to forgive. I had to go to my mom. I had to go to my dad. And I had to tell them, I am so sorry for putting all of that hurt on y'all. Everything that I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I had to go through when y'all was alive. I understand now that I'm chosen for something. And when you chosen for something, let me tell you something. There's this thing called humility that we got to go through. You understand? And God got to break us. He got to slow us down. Because the stuff that we want, let me tell you something. Everything that I wanted, he ceased the energy for me. I couldn't even do it. All this corrupt stuff I was doing on TikTok, I couldn't do it no more. So I got off of it. And then Coach Tommy said, pray about it. Coach Tommy said, pray about it. Did you ask God? Is that what you're supposed to be doing? And I didn't. I was just waking up every day, coming up with plans, not praying about it, not doing nothing. And then I decided to do what Coach Tommy said. And Coach Tommy said, you have to go to God first. Ask God for forgiveness. Then, ask God to lead your tongue for your parents and order your steps for your parents. Because if you can't forgive them, what makes you think God gonna forgive you? And you really think you're gonna step foot in his kingdom and you got all that right there? That's not gonna happen. And it hit home for me. So I went to my dad first. And I said, Daddy, I want to come to you and I just want to say that out of everything that happened to me in my childhood, I feel like you abandoned me. I feel like you didn't care. Did I feel like you had the resources to help me? Yes, I did. But Daddy, I thank you for not getting in the way. And I want to ask you to please forgive me for every disrespectful thing that I've ever done to you to make you feel my pain for your mishaps, because it wasn't right. And my daddy hugged me so tight, and my daddy broke down to me because it was unexpected. And me and my daddy are like best friends. We can't make up for lost times, but we can start right here. I'm grown. He only remembers the 9-year-old, but now he knows that I'm grown, and now he respects my boundaries. Him and my husband didn't like each other at first when they first came. My daddy was an alcoholic when he first came. Now my daddy been sober for 2 months because I had to change. And Coach Tommy said, when you change, God only gonna bless them through you. You gotta get it together because you got a calling on your life. So for your husband to change, for your family to change, for anybody attached to you to change, you have to change. I said, Coach, I still cuss a little bit. I still smoke a little bit, and I'm praying on it. I'm praying on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still transitioning. I'm not 100%. But after I said that prayer, I'm going to say a month ago, I woke up this morning with that confirmation, with everything to do. That was my confirmation. I was scared at first. I wasn't confident at first, and I had to tell my husband had to look at my video and tell me, if you're not confident in you, how anybody else gonna be confident? That makes no sense. So after that, I went to my mom, y'all. But this particular day, it was at work. And my mom was on that phone. She was just in the receiving mode. And I said, Mama, I need to talk to you. And she said, oh, Lord, I know what that means. I said, Mama, that ain't what it is. I said, Mama, I just want to ask you to please forgive me for everything I've done wrong. Everything I've said to you. All the times I made you feel like you wasn't enough. You was less than a mom. All the times I made it seem like you just was nothing to everybody because of how I felt. Mom, I strongly want to ask you to please forgive me for that. You didn't deserve that, no matter what wrong you did, because I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And the real us only shows when no one's around. Whoever's watching this, I pray you receive that. Don't let nobody fool you out here. When most people get up and put their clothes on in the morning, they getting up to be somebody. But it's very rare that you find somebody who can be themselves when nobody is around outside. It's very rare. So just pay close attention to your surroundings. And I'm sorry, I think I got off track, but when I said all that to my mom, y'all, my mama paused and she said, wow, of course I forgive you. You my child. But I want to ask you, can you forgive me? Because I know I hurt you. I know I wronged you. I know I abandoned you. I know what I did wrong, and you had every right to feel how you felt. And out of everything, I just need you to forgive me, and I just want to say that I'm sorry. That meant the world to me, and we forgave each other. And let me tell you something, I had a spiritual moment, because once that happened, nothing happened with my dad. You know what I'm saying? But I knew who the real issue was. And most of the time, it's our mothers. Most of the time, it's our moms. And when we did that, something just lifted off of me. And it felt weird. And, it just felt weird. Like, it's indescribable, but it felt like something just did that number right there, And ever since then, man, my parents, we've been like this. So I said all that to say in this video, y'all, forgiveness is the first step. Acknowledgement that you have to forgive is the first step. And after you do that, you go to God and get on your knees, not in the bed, not after you get off the phone. Soon as you wake up in the morning, or as soon as you hit your spirit, it can be at 3 a.m., get on your knees. Ask God to guide your tongue. It don't have to be your parents. Somebody in your family could have just wronged you. It can be somebody in jail. It can be somebody, whatever. Be bold and do this for me. Be bold and go ask somebody for forgiveness. And when you do, I want you to put it in the comments. Or if you do have experience with getting forgiveness from somebody, tell me under the comments. I want to know some of y'all stories. I really want to know some of y'all stories. Now, this was part 1, and I want to know what y'all think about this, okay? Now, this is Faith Like That, the Alexis edition. Keep walking in faith, y'all. Keep growing in grace. And remember, your breakthrough is closer than what you think. But you got to start with forgiveness, okay? So until next time, peace.